look at this. This is down the road from our place, and we're going for a walk. This will be my running route. Loving it already. We have basically moved, or we're moving to rainbow country. We have now seen multiple rainbows just in the space of an hour, just going across there. This is where we always went. Oh my god, this is just amazing.
Yeah.
And we also had that sign there, Isham, and we're wondering who lives out here? What lucky suckers live out here?
I don't know, there's just something that we always loved about here. There are a lot of fairy forts or ring forts, a lot of things from Ireland's pagan past in the area and along this road. Here's like one of those ring forts. Two in there.
How many times did we pass by here on the way up to Donegal?
Incredible to think now. And we're here.
There's our site entrance. So here we are in our current bungalow bliss, where we have been renting now for 3 years, and it's always the same old situation. You're going from rental to rental, and you never know when, you might have to move out and go back onto the rental market and look for the next place. And that was also kind of a deciding factor for us. Deciding factor for us. Deciding factor for us was that it's just the insecurity of it all. You never know when, the landlord might give you that call and say, I'm moving back into the property. You have 3 months notice or 6 months notice or whatever. So that was another huge deciding factor to get onto the property ladder and start the whole ball rolling. In this series of videos, we're going to be going through the whole process from beginning to end, from the ideation phase, the phase of going, no, we want to get out of the rental market, all the way through the planning permission process, to deciding what house to go for, what house build type, and in our case we did decide to go for the Scandinavian Home, securing the site, buying the site, getting planning permission, all the way to now the construction of the house, and then in the new year 2026 moving into the new house. So we're going to be documenting the whole process from beginning to end.
So as we live and work around the Galway area, in particular we're kind of around the Moycullen area here, and we had hoped maybe to find something around here. There were some sites for sale, but there was no way we were going to have a chance in getting any planning permission. particular, we'd hoped to be around the Tullykine area, kind of east Moycullen, north Moycullen, but anything that was for sale here was just purely agricultural, and wasn't much chance of getting anything with planning permission.
So to explain all the details, my partner Naomi is more of an expert, and she can explain how it's done and what the restrictions are in, say, County Galway, for example, compared to other counties where they're not so strict. So here is Naomi.
So we had really hoped to be able to build in this area, having a great number of friends and many family members all in this area, and also in Galway city itself. However, because of the demand due to its connectivity with Galway city and the motorway to Dublin, and the huge number of people who live in this area and work in Galway city, there's a huge demand to live in this area, and so there are more restrictions on planning permissions than in some other places in the country. And a lot of this area is covered by level 3 conservation laws, which mean that even if you own the land in a lot of these areas, you can't build. Even if you own land in areas that aren't covered by this conservation law, you're then restricted by what's called the local need. So there are certain criteria that you have to satisfy the local need. You have to have lived in the area for 7 years or more and have a connection to the area, family connection to the area, family home, things like that. Have children going to school in the area, and we could have circumvented some of that and satisfied most of it, and it would have taken a lot of time to get everything together. Also, prices are just so much higher in this area because of the demand. So even to get a small site and then go through the whole planning process was going to just take a lot of time. Mayo, in this part of Mayo, there is no local housing, local need aspect to the planning permission. And all of this was just made possible because Mayo, and we're only just barely over the border into Mayo, but Mayo is trying to encourage people back into the area to regenerate the area. And unfortunately, because it is a little bit cut off, there, access to main routes and to the motorway, etc. There's just not the demand to live there. And so this is why we chose to go the route we've gone. And we now have we were able to build the house of our dreams in this beautiful location and still actually be very relatively close to all of our family and friends. And we're looking forward to making new friends in the area as well. So that's our story.
So what did we do next? So we went window shopping, house hunting. We went to IKEA, the IKEA of Ireland for house builds. And that is a little small startup company right here along the N59 between Galway and Moycullen. And these guys right here are called Scandinavian Homes. And as you can see, they have a show house right here that you can go every Wednesday. Presentation is done on the houses that they build. You come here to watch a presentation, and Lars, the owner of the company, gives us the details, the lowdown on what is involved with going with a Scandinavian home. Basically, it's like going shopping to IKEA and buying a house in a flat pack that gets then shipped from Sweden to Ireland. And you can see this is the show house. It's already about 20 years old, but it's fairly true to the current models. You can see the style, a lot of wood, very nice. Every house comes with a heat recovery system. You can see that in this ventilation system up here, and a lot of other features. So no heating is required for these houses. No radiators, no oil burners, no heat pumps, only a heat recovery system. That's the only thing that comes with the house. It also comes with underfloor heating. So here you can see a fairly similar example to the house that we decided to go with. This would be here a typical bedroom. All models come with skylights. And like I said, it's almost like shopping at IKEA for your house. You can choose from different series: the Atlantica, the Baltica, Nordica, Hibernia, 2-story bungalow, 1-story, whichever. And initially we were undecided between the Baltica 8145 and the Baltica 108. So this one would be the smaller one, 99 square meters. You can see the layout of the house here. And the houses come either in just foundation, shell and kit, or in a turnkey version.
So yeah, that's our video number 2 in our series of videos. Hope you enjoyed that and gave you some ideas maybe for your own journeys. Our next video, we will probably delve a bit more into the beginning of the house build and some other areas like local build restrictions, things like that, the water scheme that we have to connect our house to, connecting our house to the electricity system, to ESB networks, and other areas like that, other little topics. So I hope you look forward to our video number 3 that should be coming up around next week. And thank you very much for listening today, and hope to see you next week.